Welcome back, everybody. So today we are going to create a lamp out of this. I don't know what this is. Tea kettle, teapot, coffee pot, whatever it is. We're going to make a lamp out of it. So my wife has tasked me with doing this for a Christmas gift. She bought a kit. I've got gloves on just so I don't get any more fingerprints on this. It probably doesn't matter at this point, but so this is not going to use this style. This is one of those things if you're going to put the big lampshade on and you're going to mount it from the top. We're not going to use that. This one's going to use a lampshade that sits on the top of this ring right here. So, but we're going to use that. There's our wire. Assortment of pieces that we're going to need. Longer rod. So this rod is too short to go all the way through. I want to go through the top, come out the bottom, so it holds this shut. We don't want this to open or flop around. So to make that work, I got these couplers. It's the only thing I could find in the hardware store. It should work. It looks like the right thread and the right size. So this will help couple it. We'll put that on the inside. We may put some epoxy in there to hold it together. And then there's, I have others if I need them from other lamp projects, but this has a longer piece and a shorter piece. And then it has, kind of sort of has instructions. I'm not really sure. Okay, so it has a lamp nipple. So one of these is the nipple that goes into here, and then this goes here. Basically, this goes here. Ah! I forgot it was in pieces. Anyhow, that goes like that. This goes like this. It's not snapped together yet because the wire has to go in. So probably the smaller one. Man, that sucker's in there tight. So this one will go in here. This will go in here. This will run down through like so inside. And then I'll have to do a coupler and then another one of these. I might have to cut this because like I said, this is not long enough. We'll have to cut it probably because I don't want it sticking out too far. So let me go get some drill bits and we'll see how easy it is to drill a hole in this. I guess it's, I don't know what this is. Is it pewter? I don't know what it is. But yeah, they sell it in places like the Habitat Restore, Goodwill, and they don't go for much, so it's not like they're worth a lot of money. But they look neat. And they're good for doing projects. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, I'm back with some drill bits. Kinda got an eyeball. That's 3/8 of an inch. That almost looks okay. I'm going to drill a test hole in some wood and we'll see if that fits. And that's a little too tight, so let's go one bit up. Let's go up a bit. I do have calipers, but the calipers are upstairs. That's snug. Do I want to be a little bigger? Let's go a little bigger. Let's drill a whole new hole. Ah. A whole new hole. Let's drill an entire new hole. All right, so that's a little big. Let's stick with the smaller size. If we need to bore that out, we will. I'm gonna get a punch tool to mark that. Try to get like the center point. This had a little piece on the top. I just heated it up with a blowtorch and melted the solder. So we're gonna go right about there. Looks good. Oh, that's soft. I'm gonna put this on a ratchet setting, so if it does catch, it's not going to hurt my hand. We're not exactly centered, but you know what? Neither was that little finial that was up there. Look at that. That's pretty good. So I think that'll be fine. All right, now we have to flip it. And try to figure out how to do this. That works. Need my punch. Kind of eyeball it. Right about there. You gotta be careful with drilling metal, especially if it's a little flat sheet, but the metal can spin in your hands and cut you severely. So be careful. Wood can do the same, but you know it's not going to cut as bad as a little thin piece of steel. So if you're cutting steel, do not sit there and hold it with your thumb, or drilling steel. Clamp it down, stay away from it, use a drill press, whatever. Okay, so now if we're through that hole a little bit, enough to get a washer on, you can see we're too short. Washer and nut. Let's open up our coupler. Coupler box here. Let's see if these back. I'm going to dump these in the cardboard box here. Let's get a screwdriver. So we're just going to unscrew this little screw. They didn't have it in too tight. You know, sometimes it comes from the factory and they've got those things in there so tight you can't get them out. And then they strip. I'm not sure how you're supposed to do this. They don't have enough. If I screw this in all the way, it's in too far. I mean, it's not too far. There's a little bit left. I guess that's okay. So let's go with that. Let's tighten this down. Just to be a little snug. Don't over tighten it because this is not very strong. Figuring out this as we go. So there's that. Let's put this extension on and see how much we have to cut off. we probably want to account for, what you think? I think we should do a rubber ring on top. I don't know that we need a metal ring, but we probably want a rubber ring on top or rubber ring on bottom. So I'm going to put 2 on the bottom since I forgot to put it. Didn't put 1 through the top. And that'll make up the distance. And then we probably need a washer. We need a lock washer. And then we have, I guess, the nut. Like so. So that's the final product. Let's mark this so I can cut it. I'm going to leave it a little long just in case we want to put some washers or stuff at the top. They're lock nuts, not nuts and names. So I'm going to mark, well actually I can't mark that, I won't be able to pull it through. Why don't we just measure it? Alright, let's measure what we want to cut off. Let's cut off a 1/2 inch. Now let's cut off 5/8 of an inch. So I cleaned that up on the bandsaw. I cut that on the bandsaw, cleaned it up on the sander, deburred the inside. That's the original end. So, turned out pretty good. Let's put this rubber ring here. Actually, let's put I don't think we need a washer. This acts as a washer. Let's put this rubber ring on it. It's not really rubber. I don't know what it's made out of. It's flexible, so it feels like rubber. So we'll put that through. Oops, before I do that, I have to put the coupler, which is where, right there. Kind of go about halfway. Take this one, hold it. I'm not sure. Let's put the cut in on the inside. Screwed on just fine. Didn't have to deburr any, or didn't have to clean up the threads or anything. Okay, there's that. I wonder if I need to put a nut on the inside of this. So if I put that, can you guys see that? Yeah, you can see that. Okay, let me move you a little bit because I'm not exactly centered. Put a lock washer, put a washer. Now the question is, how am I going to get that? All right. Flip it upside down. So I'm going to have to, sorry, I'm doing it so you can't see it. Ah! Smashed my fingers. Works super close. Yeah, just a hair more. Oops, I went the wrong one. Go that way. Just a hair more. I think that might be it. Rubber. washer, lock washer, nut. I think that's good. All right, so let me get an adjustable wrench. I have an adjustable wrench down here. Not my favorite tool to use for something like this, but I'd rather use a actual socket. This ships with this metal plastic knob, but it has a nice metal one too. So now we run our cable up through it. Just take a little out of this roll. This is your neutral. This is your hot, the flat one. The one with the knob on it's neutral. So it looks like the hot one has the numberings on it and the neutral has the ribs on it. So the question is, inside the guts here, which one's which? So I'm going to say gold is hot, white is neutral. So we're going to go with that because that's normally how I wire things. Okay, guys, you're not going to believe this. These don't fit. Oh, there they go. It must just be, the opening must be a little smaller, so the question is, are we going to be able to push these up in here? Alright, let's see. Let's see what we're catching on. And of course it unscrewed the other way that time. That's tight. All right, we got it. There it is. So we have to put a knot in it, an underwriter's knot. Oh my goodness. Anybody know what an underwriter's knot is? It's like two loops like that, it looks like. So two loops like that. And the neutral is the one with the ribs and no lettering. That's this one. And then hot. It's the one with the lettering. Tighten hot up. Just pulling that knot up a little higher. So guess we'll put the switch. Which way do you want to turn it? Put the switch over here. Like that. Ta-da! Well, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. I like it. Let me go get the shade. I'll show you what it looks like completely assembled. There's the shade. I think this just came from Walmart. Well, there it is. Pretty nifty. All right, that's it. My work's done. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Pretty simple little project. Thank you guys for watching.